I'm Katie. I am 41 years old and I've got a full-time job as a university lecturer in journalism, and I'm soon going to be preparing for a half marathon.
My name is Nick and I've just very recently turned 65. I'm a practitioner of Chinese medicine.
So I've been planning it for a while. I haven't signed up for it yet, but I've been planning to do the half marathon. So I told Dad that I was planning to do it, and yeah, he suggested that he would do it with me, which I was very pleased about.
For me, it's the most efficient form of exercise, but the running does remain a chore to some extent. But the best part of it is that it's a joint project with Katie, and that gives it a sort of special, sense of purpose, and it's a social thing. And in that way, it's similar to other challenges which I've done, the London Triathlon with my nephew Chris, and then the Three Peaks with my two nephews, Greg and Chris.
It's only been in the last few years that I've really got a buzz from exercise and really got a buzz from running. And that all started with signing up for the Race for Life. I really enjoyed it. I got a bit of a taste for running and I wanted to do something that was going to challenge me a little bit more. And that was when I thought about signing up for a 10k. So in miles, that's 6.3, double the Race for Life. So I purposefully went for something that was going to be nice and flat because it was enough of a challenge for me to run 10 kilometres. So then I decided I wanted to do another one the following year, and Dad joined me for that one, which was lovely.
It was just really nice to be involved in a sort of joint project with my own daughter. We kind of started together, and then very quickly I kind of somehow lost Katie, and I thought, can't remember what I thought. I mean, either she was behind me or in front of me. In fact,
You thought I was way behind you.
I think I thought Kate was behind me.
But the next step for me has got to be a half marathon. Really, there aren't any runs in between. It's 10k, and then you double it to do the half marathon, which is 13 miles. I'm going to get lots of advice. I'm going to go online and try and find out about different running programs. I'm a member of a gym. I'm planning to join a running club. I'm hoping that at the running club there'll be people to talk to about how to train for a half marathon.
At the moment, in principle, I don't always do it, but in principle, I aim to run twice a week. Each time is 5 or 6 miles. I think that I won't do anything sort of hugely different, except I'll do more and longer. If I spoke to a dedicated runner, they would of course be telling me that I ought to think about it more scientifically, but I've got too many other things to think about. Of course, I have my clinical work, which is acupuncture and Chinese herbal medicine. I'm editor of the Register of Chinese Herbal Medicine journal. I have quite a lot of interests that I pursue. I play the flute. I also sing in a choir. Then we're members of a reading group, and of course there are family commitments and looking after grandchildren. The exercise needs to be built around that.
I think the most difficult thing about preparing for it, to be honest, it will be fitting it in around everything else. Well, obviously I have my job, so I work full time. There's obviously my family, my children, Nikki and Matthew, are 8 and 3. But I think it's important for me to have my thing, which is the way that I see running now. It's my kind of hobby, it's my escape from work and family. The thought of running for over 2 hours, it's a bit scary, but it's also exciting because I'm wow, what a sense of achievement if I can do it. Might sound a bit weird to people who don't run, and I would have found this very weird a few years ago. But I look forward to my run days more than my rest days. And it gives me a buzz. Coming back from a run I feel on a little bit of a high for the rest of the day. Exercise also makes me feel that I'm looking after my health and my figure.
I sometimes think when I'm running along that yes, this is good for me, not just because I feel more wide awake afterwards, but it is healthy, and I sort of think, well, probably my arteries will be less clogged up as a result of this activity, and so I sort of vaguely think, well, that's probably keeping me going for longer in a healthy state.
I think there might be a tiny element of competition between us. I think we would want to keep up with each other, certainly. Dad is very fit, and I was really proud that we were just a few seconds apart on the Drumfield 10K. I thought, wow, I must be doing all right if I'm running as fast, if not a little bit faster than my dad. The main thing for me is that I do my personal best, and I feel I've done the best that I can do. But yeah, there's a little bit of competition there. I would, I'd like to be as good as or a little bit faster than Dad. On October the 10th, I did a 10K. It was actually the 4th 10K that I've done, and it also just found it quite hard, and I had trained for it, but I had a real period in the middle where I had a stitch and I'd hurt my foot a little bit, and I just found the endurance quite difficult. And I just started, I suppose I lost a little bit of confidence and thought, can I really manage to do this half marathon? I think I need some help. So I went to somebody who trains people to do triathlons at all sorts of levels. His method of training for running is to use a heart rate monitor, and he sets a limit, so you have to train within a certain heart rate. And that does feel quite odd at first because you're kind of not going as fast as you could, so you're holding back. He's given me some exercises, and some of them involve using a foam roller for kind of stretching my calves and my hips and that kind of thing, which are quite painful actually, but apparently excellent for sort of keeping your muscles stretched and in shape.
I haven't done anything very different. So far I have been on one longer run. I usually do about an hour. I have been on a longer one for an hour and a half. So I have signed up, and just for the record, when you sign up, you're asked to predict what your time will be. So I'm not particularly desperately trying to do a particular time. I mean, I'm planning to finish it, but I had to make a prediction, and I said 2 hours 20 minutes. I'm confident that I'll be able to finish. I'm not particularly confident about doing it in a super duper time, but that's not my plan anyway, so that's okay. I feel excited and really glad that we're finally doing it, rather than sort of talking about it and preparing for it. For the past few weeks I've been running about sort of 9 or 10 miles twice a week. My first worry is that I might need a loo stop on the way, so I might have to nip into a pub, which will delay me slightly. The other is that I wouldn't want to be ahead of Katie, but I think that's extremely unlikely.
Right, well, today is the big day. I feel that I'm as prepared as I can be. I am scared now that we're actually here, and seeing everybody, and it's only about half an hour till we start, so I'm really feeling nervous. We started together, and then we saw each other again at around about 9-10 miles, and Dad said, come on, we need to really get a bit of a sprint on here for the last few miles. So I couldn't get a sprint on because there wasn't anything left in me, so I had to persuade Dad to just go on, but I'm very proud of how I did anyway. First half, I really enjoyed. I felt really good. I felt really comfortable. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Got to halfway, was still feeling good, and then my fuel kind of ran out. And around the time that I saw Dad, and for those last 3 miles, there just wasn't much kind of left in me really. But I felt that I did the best I could have done. So perhaps I'm more of a 10K person really.
Katie was ahead of me for about 10 miles, and then I caught up, and then I found I actually had some sort of fuel left in me, and I was able to go quite fast.